Let's use a typical grocery store as an example. Eggs are stored in an egg carton, which is appropriate because it protects them and makes them easy to access. You'll often find milk in a plastic gallon jug. Sometimes coffee is vacuum packed in little bricks. We know it wouldn't make much sense to put a gallon of milk in a plastic bag rather than a jug, nor would it make sense to try to vacuum pack raw eggs, and we wouldn't pack coffee in an egg carton. So it is with variables. Each type of variable is good for storing certain things. This is referred to as the variable's data type. Going back to our temperature locker example, we may want to use an integer data type for this if we're only interested in whole numbers. To do this, we need to declare two integer variables. We have the current temp and the high temp. In general, when we're declaring a variable, the form is data type first, then the variable name, and then you can set it equal to something. Notice though that we didn't set our two variables equal to something, as this wouldn't make sense for our purpose. The temperature is what it is, and the variables will take on that value without us explicitly setting them equal. Setting a variable equal to something is referred to as initializing the variable, and it's optional. Sometimes you know ahead of time what the initial value of your variable will be. Sometimes you don't. In Arduino, we initialize variables with a single equal sign, which is called the assignment operator. Note that the assignment operator is not the same thing as the equal sign, which in Arduino and C is two equal signs next to each other. So here's the second point. Variables consist of a data type and a name, and initializing a variable is optional. In our temperature example, our variables were put in lockers. In a computer or microcontroller, variables are put into memory, usually some sort of register or the stack. Now, this is an introduction, so I won't go into too much technical detail about registers and stacks at this point. And there's another important point to note before we move on and talk about specific types of variables and what they're good for. There are certain words or names for naming variables that are off limits. For example, when programming in the Arduino IDE, we can't name a variable something like high or low. These are keywords the IDE reserves. Also, you cannot have any spaces in the name of a variable or special characters in the name of a variable, but underscores are allowed. And while you can use numbers in the name of a variable, you can't start the name of a variable with a number.